Cool. So what I'm thinking, it might take you a little bit of time to get participants for your survey. So we don't want to wait. We don't want to wait for, like, we want to find something you can do whilst you're getting the data from the participants.
So you mean fix the survey and we can't have enough time to wait the survey done.
So we need to figure out where to put the survey in your plan. Because you can start the survey tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let's say you fix everything up and you send out the things. It'll still take a little bit of time for those people to forward it to more people, and then you might get people coming in. So it might be that you, if you're lucky, you get enough participants there, but it might actually be like another week before you get the results of the survey. So what could you do in the meantime? What could you do whilst you're waiting for that?
I think because in the beginning I think in journey map doing process because I can this is based on my experience.
Yeah. So you analysed the
Different
stages of the pickup service, and you just analyze it for like what actually happens inside these stages,
Yeah.
And then you got surveys about their experiences,
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey.
Do you want me to pick you up some lunch or?
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I don't have any cash. That's fine. I'll have to give you some.
What do you want?
What are you getting?
I'm just gonna go to Mexican.
Yeah. I'll have a small chicken burrito, please.
Bread?
Yeah.
Not one of the bowls.
So did you translate?
Actually, a bowl, please. Yeah. Chicken bowl, please.
bowl.
Everything. Yeah.
Salsa, not spicy.
Yeah. I'm not in the mood for
Is
spicy.
this what you can do?
Thank you. You know what we're doing here? We're sorting Chen out.
Yeah.
Chen
No,
unfortunately had to throw out
bunch of stuff.
the last 2 weeks,
Can I translate?
and we're just going to get it back on track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
Alright.
Are you cool to keep if I need to do this?
Yeah, sure.
Keep advising.
Yep. Yeah, I think we've gone. Yeah, I'll have to move a little bit quicker.
Yeah, but
we're
it's-
moving. We only got through two groups of 4 this morning.
And there's,
3 groups, I think.
is there enough for the whole group?
No,
we
there's
had
probably
4 groups.
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah.
One of the groups has 5, I think, in it. Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Stuart. Cool. Yeah. Let's brainstorm. Let's brainstorm. What else is there? What else is there that you could do? What other things could be useful? What's your actual goal? You want to improve the service? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? So what can you do without talking to people? What could you do that would be useful to improve, to try and sort of start improving that service? So you're going to be putting out the survey, which is going to help understand what people's experience, what their needs are. Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, some people need more university information to help them to make a better choice.
Because at the moment, you're looking to interview people who have not gone through this before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah? But how will you know what the experiences are without interviewing people who have gone through it before?
Yeah. So you mean?
Would it be easier to find people who have done it before?
So I got some people. I don't.
You do know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I'm
Cool.
sorry.
Don't apologise. These questions, you're going to be asking them so you're asking them questions about, see, you've got, after the pre-sale service, what is your impression or dissatisfaction? So are you asking people, so there's two types of people. One type of person has never done portfolio training.
Yeah.
Never. The other type of person has done it before. They've done a portfolio training course.
Yeah. Experience.
Or have at least experienced the pre-sale component.
Yeah.
Yeah? Because this is all just pre-sale experience, yeah? Yeah. Who are you sending your survey to? Who do you want to survey?
University student.
Yeah.
Chinese.
Do you want to survey people who have done pre-sale before?
Yeah.
Or people who have not done it before?
Or do you have a plan to?
Or who have a plan to?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So you were both? Or are you just surveying people who have a plan to?
I think people who have experience more clear. Just like just survey one type of student who have experience to face to have experience in portfolio training.
You want to find people who have done the portfolio training?
Yeah.
Yeah? That's what you think?
Yeah, because I mean just on the constitution, people not receive all of service, just in pre-sale.
Yeah. Not the whole service, just pre-sale. You want to find people who have gone through the pre-sale for portfolio training before. Yeah? Right. Thanks, buddy. That's different. That's a different group of people to before. But I think that's better because you will be able to get their feedback on their experience of what it was like to do this thing. If you're only trying to find participants who have never, because here you're asking, do you need to prepare a personal portfolio for Australia higher education application?
Yeah, the non-experienced.
They're non-experienced,
Yeah.
but you want to find experienced, people who have gone through the experience before. Do you think you'll be able to find those people?
Maybe it is not just the university student. Maybe some students in Australia higher education. Yeah, and these students have experience. Just like some students have experience to receive the whole process of training portfolio. They apply Australian higher education and study in there. Yeah, and
so people who have done it before,
yeah,
who've been through the pre-sales, but maybe also they've been through the whole course.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, it course. They can memory.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Right. So it's different to that. So you need to make sure that you're emailing the right people. And that's why I was wondering why some of these questions ask questions about what it was like, what was your impression of the service, the pre-sale service. They won't, if they had never done it before, they won't be able to answer the question.
Yeah.
Not useful. Okay, cool, great. All right. Sorry, I had to ask that question.
No, it is important.
Cool. All right. So, where are we at? Excuse me while I eat my lunch.
I'm sorry. I'm bother you to eat lunch. I just worry.
I'm happy.
Really?
I'm happy.
Okay.
Yeah. It's fine. I think it's important. You're important.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Wish we had some post-it notes. Do you have any post-it notes?
Poster.
Post-its. Sticky notes? No?
Oh yeah.
You have that?
You mean the sticker?
Sticky notes, yeah, like,
Oh yeah. I have.
you have them?
Yeah.
Cool, that will help. So, help me design this. We've got the survey. Survey students who have done portfolio training pre-sale. So they might have finished the course already, they might not have started the course yet. Yeah?
Yeah.
They've gone through the but they've gone through this service before, the pre-sale. Yeah? Cool. So that's one thing we need to do. What are the other things you think you need to do in this project? You want to get through some storyboards? Sorry. And that's to do the journey map, yeah?
Yeah.
Journey map. You can help me do this if you want. If you want to write other things you think you know. Cool. Persona?
Inside.
Sorry?
Inside.
Oh, the inside. Right. And then the ranking. Yeah, ranking insights. Or like Moscow, yeah.
Yeah.
And what?
Oh.
And so what was the goal of this session?
It's solutions for proposal.
Yeah. So, what are the ways that we could improve based on the most important insight?
Yeah.
What could we do to improve it? Right. Yep.
Yeah.
So let's generate ideas. Yeah. Generate solutions. But then you found you wanted to go to like to get to the solutions you were trying to go through more of a conceptual way, yeah. Because like we're working on the ethics stuff for doing the survey, but when you get to this point of wanting to do these sessions with participants, we'll need to do the also do the paperwork for those people. Yeah.
For the service, I just finished. I just use the SurveyMonkey. And do I need to use home school? Yeah. And delete the survey face to face.
Pardon?
Cancel the survey face to face.
Yeah.
SurveyMonkey and the focus group.
Yeah, that's a SurveyMonkey. That's a survey method, and you'll have the ethics documentation things that you need for that.
Yeah, and prepare your text.
Prepare the recruitment instrument. Yep, and prepare the participant consent, which will go on the front of the online survey.
Okay.
And prepare the questions.
To fix survey question.
Yep, we'll fix those today. That's easy. But you will need, for doing these sessions with people, you will need also to do a participant information and consent form for that. And maybe you need a different recruitment instrument for that.
So, for my focus group, maybe use a poster and use text. Do I need to use text to
I mean, you can do these methods without people, right? You don't need to use the focus group.
So you mean just by myself?
Yeah.
Okay.
You may not get as much out of it, but you may be able to do it just on your own. Do some brainstorming.
Okay.
Come up with some solutions. Yeah. You don't need to use participatory design for that element. Yeah.
But
so do these things on your own. And then maybe more when you have solutions that you want to test, that's when you use participants again.
Okay.
To test your prototypes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like use online test.
I don't know. It's hard to tell because we don't know what you're testing yet. Yeah. It's hard to know what kind of questions you'll want to ask. Because if it was like an app, then you would interview and ask them to use the app that you might prototype using paper or something. But if it's like, who knows? But basically, before you go out and ask people, you'll need to talk to us about what questions or what method you want to use. And yeah, it's hard because you kind of want to know early what you're going to make.
Because I don't know what is the final product.
Yeah, if it's an event, How are you going to test the concept of an event? How would you? You might actually create a series of storyboards.
Oh yeah, storyboard.
Showing how the service would be different, and you would interview participants about that.
Yeah, and just like when you use a potato, when you follow the storyboard, how do you feel?
Yeah, they might go, yeah, that would be way better for me. Yeah. Oh, actually, no, that wouldn't work because I don't like people. I don't like talking face to face. I prefer email. Yeah. Or my English isn't good. I don't want to do it here in Melbourne. I want to do it or I need to make sure that person's Chinese or can speak Chinese.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So I think you could still get value by just showing the design of the thing or the story. You don't need the real thing to test your concept.
Okay.
So I don't think you need participants here. I think you need participants in test the concepts. Yeah. And I think try and prepare your ethics requirements for this as early as possible so that we can look at it. You may not know all the questions you want to ask yet. So
the numbering. So yes,
So, is there anything you can do? Because at the moment, could you do this without this?
Okay.
Can you?
That's good.
I'm just asking, is it possible? It seems like this requires this.
Yeah.
This requires this. This requires this. This requires that. These all require each other at the moment, and it all comes back to this. But if this won't, if you're not getting results for 2 weeks, what can you do?
You kind of cut out the bits that you need to cut out and do that. We'll work.
Are there other sources of data? Are there reviews of portfolio training companies that are public?
Yeah, I'm not sure. What about website comments?
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
public information.
But is it reasonable data? I'm not sure. Because is this service must I use interview data or I can use website comments?
Good idea. Have you ever used
there are a lot of insight in website. Can I use it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like in the beginning, before I have an imagination about Uber. Yeah, I have a look at a lot of people creating Uber in website. I just think it is not. It's not in the real life.
It's not the whole picture.
Yeah.
It's just some of the picture. It's just the negative shit.
Yeah,
not the good shit.
Yeah. But I'm not sure it can be used in research.
It can be used. Everything can be used. Just how useful is it? So one option you have now is that you might do. So you've got your basic journey map.
Yeah.
Where you've started to map out just the parts of the service. What if, based on comments, online comments, you were able to start to pull some information in here? Some information.
Just some.
Yeah, some. You go, well, based on the comments, I can learn about some information about the experiences of people. Yeah? So you can start to build a journey map of that. Then when you get your interviews coming in, you can update this journey map again with more information.
Okay, just like this is website journey map. Is this meaning that this is the first vision journey map is a website journey map based on website comments, and the second journey map is an offline journey map based on my survey data.
So the first version of your journey. So basically, you could, if you were a service designer out there, you could be constantly updating your journey map forever. Whenever you learn new information, you would update your journey map. You don't just do it once.
Oh yeah.
You would ideally, because you might improve your service, so your journey map changes. Yeah, and the needs of people start changing.
Good way.
It's a constantly changing.
Yeah.
At my work, I use a different method called the customer. What's it called? The value proposition canvas. What this is I have it in my office. It's a big board. It should be further apart. There's a line. And imagine I stick posters on it. Right? This is the customer. This is the product or service. These are the jobs the customer needs to do. Like for a student who's looking for a course, I need to know
Timetable?
Yeah, what are the things that a student really needs to be able to know? I need to know, I need to make compare courses, find out which one is best for me.
Yeah.
I need to Google search and find a course.
Yeah.
I need to go to an expo and I need to talk to someone about it. I need to get more information. What are all the different jobs that people need to do as part of finding a course and signing up for a course? So that service journey there, from searching to contract, online, whatever. Right? These are the pain points.
Yeah.
These are the gains. These are the things that are going to make their life better. They're not just things that solve the pain. They're actually so pains would be, like in this service at the moment, the pains are, it's really hard to, not just in this service, but in the, so this would be like for finding portfolio trading. So this is from the user's mindset of when users are finding, working out which portfolio training organization they want to go to. The things that would make their life really great, what would they be? Think back to you, it would be
Positive.
Yeah, what's a positive aspect of it? I feel I'm excited to go to my training. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to going to the training, because you don't want to sign up for a training and be like, I guess I found the right one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited. well, I'm confident that I'm going to get my university degree because I think I found the right one. So I feel safe. Yeah. Another game would be I can
Enjoy?
yeah, but that's sort of the after sale. That's the after sales experience. So this is the sales experience. Yeah. So like another thing might be it was easy for me to make a decision. I could easily compare to other courses. Or it was easy for me to make a decision because I could clearly understand the information. Like they understood my needs and they were able to, answer my questions. So like the other games are like, I feel confident, I feel happy that I look forward to going to see it. So those would be the games. The pains are like, it's too hard to compare. I can't find any information. I don't know what to search for. I don't know who to talk to. It's really hard.
Negative emotions.
Yeah. So here on this side on the product, this is where you put ideas. And when you put these up, you can start from your assumptions of what you think you know. Then as you talk to people, you can fill these in more and more and more. Just like as you keep talking to people, you can fill this in more and more and more and more. And refine it. You might learn some new information that goes, actually, I had it wrong before. Now I've learned something new. So I'm just thinking, I just wanted to explore this method because I wonder if this might be useful or not. Maybe not. I don't know. I'll leave it with you. Because in this section here, you've got pain relievers. So these are ideas about your product and how it could work for the customer. So a pain reliever. So if a customer's pain is, I don't have enough information to make a decision. Then this would be provide clear information.
This is the
Yeah. I can't talk to anybody about this. Pain reliever is you can email or you can chat online or you can go to an expo face to face. All the different ways that you could possibly solve those pains.
Sure.
Yeah. And then this is game creators. Things that create those games. So this feeling that you've got here about I'm looking forward to my training. Game creators would be like make a personalized plan for a student so that feels like they are
just for you.
Or it might be that you show examples of other students' inspiring stories.
Just like experience sharing.
Or you send them a pack of once they sign up, once you get the contract of like, we can't wait to see you, here's what's going to happen on your first day, it's going to be really fun. And then in the jobs, match to the jobs category, are the products or service, attributes, or features. Which is really like sorry, the services, sorry. Products and services. So that's like what mix of service of touch. That's like the touch points, really.
Yeah. Just like channel.
Yeah, like one of the products in here might be an expo, like a booth at a expo. Another one might be the website, and one other one might be yeah. So like the possible products and services. So like they sort of map to like, well, what jobs does that help them do? Yeah. And what sort of mix do you need in there? Yeah. One of the touch points, one of the products or services might be a chat bot that they can ask questions to at any time of day. Now, would this be? This is really a similar thing to this, in a way. So maybe it's not useful, but think about it. If you do want to look it up, it's called the value proposition canvas. Have a think. Just have a look at the online video and see what you think about it, because I know that you like your methods.
And I think it is a good way to explore.
Yeah. And what you can do is you can put down your assumptions at this point of what you think you know about your users and their experiences, and then you can, when you interview, you test those assumptions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, in terms of your plan, so it looks like survey can start now, and you will need to do. You can do a journey map part 1. Update journey map. Once the survey is done, you can update it again.
Yeah.
Yeah?
This is next week?
Well, you have to start this as soon as possible, it seems.
So, updating this is 2?
Yeah. So it seems like next week, you may, or maybe all you have next week is an updated journey map. And your presentation is going to be an interesting story about what you've learned from this experience. But maybe you change your plan. Maybe you figure out that there's some things that you can do. Because the reason why I showed you this is because based on what you assume so based on your assumptions about the customers and the service, you can start to come up with some ideas for how you might solve their problems. And when this changes, you can rechange this again.
So you mean next week?
Yeah, you could. You could start having some ideas for and they're just like little concepts of possible ways.
But
you really haven't identified what the problem. Yeah.
But do I need to do this based on survey?
Well, you could do it first based on just what you're on your gut.
Yeah.
And then update it after you get the survey. So you could do this and this after the survey.
Oh, I got it. Survey is number 1.
Yeah.
Based on my experience.
Yeah. And then, let's say you finish the survey, you update your journey map again. And then when you start generating solutions, you can use, like, you can update the journey map and update this based on some brainstorming.
Yeah.
So you update and generate some possible solutions to what the pains and the gains and what those things are, and then you can then start to prototype or design those things and go out and test those concepts. So your design for the plan so we don't know when the survey will finish. So survey happens, but that's phase 1. Yeah. And survey maybe comes, but start the survey.
Yeah, I know. Start
Yeah.
the survey.
Survey finishes, and then you do update journey map. Create your proper personas if you think it's useful. Do your insights. Do your must go. Do your generating of solutions. And do your testing of your concepts. And I think that should be end of phase 2. How does that look to you? Yeah?
Okay. And phase 3, do the test.
Testing and improve. You test the concept at the end of phase 2. So basically, you've got a bunch of data to go. Right, phase 3. What am I gonna? How am I gonna improve it and test it again? Maybe you don't test it again. Depends on how much time. Yeah. What do you think about this plan? Do you want time to think about it and to maybe make it your own? Do you want to do some of your own brainstorming and think about it? Yeah. So maybe next week, after you present, or maybe part of your presentation, we'll be asking you what's phase 2. Yeah.
So I just think about my survey questions.
Mm-hmm. We'll do that now. So putting a note here, focus group is the method you're going to use there for testing. Oh, sorry, not focus group, interview. Yeah. So that's a rough sketch of your phase 1, end of phase 1. Because you might, if you do think this is a good method, it might be a good one is doing the value canvas. You don't have to do this. Don't follow everything that I say, except ethics. Maybe you do those 2 things for that week.
This is all based on my experience. All of it is based on my experience. Yeah.
Assumptions.
Yeah.
Your assumptions.
Yeah, my assumption.
What do you know so far? And then and then when you get surveys, that will help you learn more. Yeah. 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 What do you think of that?
I think it's great. Just change my method.
Because you already had some experience already, right?
Yeah.
It's always going to be in there, in your head, and part of what way that you are designing. You have to be thinking as a human as well. So I mean, you could either, you could do that, or you could do rapid personas. Have you seen this method before?
I know.
Rapid personas.
Yeah.
It's from a book called Lean UX, and it's basically an A4 piece of paper you fold in four, and it's like about the person, demographics. I think.
Background.
Yeah. Their situation, their pains, and what's important to them, like their goals. Have a look at it. Book.
From book.
Yeah. Very simple methods about basically working with teams who don't have time to go out and try and get data.
Yeah.
But just like it's about having a workshop very quickly to think about the user in the process without having time to do. So you can actually do that based on what you know so far in your gut. You've got the journey map where you're putting those experiences down, and you can actually create very simple personas, and then you could see whether when you get the data back from the surveys, is that different from what I thought?
Yeah.
How is that different? Yeah.
Comparing.
Yeah. So you start going, ooh, you know what? I assumed that people would be having a problem with this, but when I interview people, when I survey people, no one mentioned it. What am I going to do? Do I still think it's important, or do I go with them?
What is different?
Yeah, you make a judgment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's what I have to do all the time. Right? I talk to clients, I talk to my customers, and I hear things, but they don't tell me everything, right? So I still have to form a hypothesis in my head. I think this is the case, and then find some way to test that.
It looks like if this is just base my experience and get some knowledge or information from book, do a survey design, and this is too based on the survey with real people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can design with whatever information you can.
Yeah. It's different. And
Yeah. You don't always have to use surveys to start thinking and start working on something. Because you never finish. You actually never finish designing a product or service. You can always improve it. So you just have to start somewhere with some assumptions and then test those assumptions by talking to people, make something, and then show that to people. Oh, have I solved the right problem? Does this solve that problem? Yeah, right? Because you might have an idea of what are the most important problems. Like you could even do the insights in a way, like what do you think the most important problems are? And that's what this is about. Like, these are the most important games. These are the most important jobs that need to be done. These are the most important things that would mean positive change in that person's life. Well, after I talk to people, does this change? Yeah. It's constant. This is like scientists are like this. They observe something in reality, and they think. I think that fire needs oxygen. I'm going to make an experiment to test whether that's true. And then you find out. So you're constantly moving your assumptions about the world, your beliefs, based on the evidence. Does that make sense?
Yeah. This is new.
It's like...
Yeah.
Right. Okay. 3 questions. Alright. So, version's free. So what are the things you really need to know? You want to know about the experience of searching, yeah?
How do you search?
Yeah, how do you search, right? So these are the goals. We need to understand these. How do people find PT? Can I say PT?
Yeah, true.
How do they find portfolio training? What's the second one?
The second one is first connect with sales.
Right. How do people is it first connect?
Yeah,
First connection only?
Yeah.
Yeah? First connect. And then on-site consultation.
Yeah, I think this part is mostly important.
Right. So in this company, so is this common, this workflow? Like, will all students have had an on-site consultation?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, all students need to suffer from this part. Need to face this part. If you want to join the portfolio training.
So they always do this?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Especially if some students do not want to meet the sales, they cannot do this part. But if you want to,
Some students do that. You want to understand about that particular phase?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Face to face is the most important. Actually, I just want to think about some for this project. I just want to think about some solution for this. This is my third.
Oh, you think this is a problem area?
Yeah, because I do some case study for my for the company's company. Yeah, they always provide some printing books. Yeah, and some papers, simple papers to introduce the service, training service, portfolio training. And but I think I can do more better for this because people need more information.
So you already got ideas in here, right? So you already think, people don't have enough information.
Yeah.
Gains would be being able to talk to somebody face to face about my thing. Gain creator would be, contractors. It could be a on-site consultation, or it could be an expo. And then pain relievers would be like being able to ask questions or something like that. So you've already got ideas, don't you?
But I can't say.
Yeah, but you might have, and what you want to do is see if the survey data shows you information about, is this the most important thing to work on?
Yeah, process is
Yeah. Cool, okay. So you've got on-site, you've got the confirmed. So what's the confirmed stage? Is like...
It's like after 3 stage and review.
So it's a decision? The customer makes a decision?
Yeah.
Right. Decision. And the contract, so that's purchase. Yeah?
Yeah, purchase.
So you could actually call this learn more. Yeah? As a phase, in the customer, you've got like how do people find, how do they first make contact, how do they learn more? Is it through a book? Is it through face-to-face? Is it through, what are the different ways that people learn more about it? And then how do they make a decision? And then how do they purchase? So I think that's even improvement on this, because this is making an assumption that people can only learn more about it through an on-site consultation. Yeah. The trick with service design is to make this very much oriented in the customer, in the customer's journey the customer goes through as an experience. Yeah. Because these are the stages for a customer, right?
Yeah.
But then the next layer down are the touch points and activities, right? That they get, that they do. Yeah. Yeah. So you've got phone, right? Yeah. Cool. So here you've got this consultant introduction students asking. That's one model. Another one might be the book, which is how it currently gets done. Yeah. Yeah. That's how they get the information.
Oral conversation is one of but
yeah. It might be email. Maybe they email. Yeah. But that's about the learning. Yeah, because they're learning about the product. They're learning about the service, so that they can make a decision. Yeah. And then how do they make a decision? Yeah. Because here you've got confirm the teaching methods, the teacher background. You've got.
Some people when they consider when they before make decision, they will consider from this.
Yeah, these are the sort of attributes. See, even here you've got a lot of assumptions. Yeah. It might be worth making these even simpler. Yeah. Anyway, so what questions are useful to ask people about these different stages? Do you know what portfolio training service is? Well, ideally you've asked them that question before. Yeah? Yeah? Because you don't want anyone who doesn't know this.
No, I don't. I want to go.
Because if they say no, then you remove them from the survey. Right. So when did you first know about portfolio training service, and how did you know it? Right. So here's circled portfolio training service. What's the term that people use?
You mean
Yeah. What in the industry? What do people Google search for? What do people call? What sort of portfolio is it? Is it for design?
Yes. Architecture design, landscape design, and urban planning, environment design.
You should put that info in your recruitment. So I'm looking for participants who have done portfolio training for any of these. Yeah.
And
list them. Yep. Do people know what portfolio training service means? Is this a common word? Yeah, that's the word we're going to use. Yeah. So people, right. When did you first know about? So what's the question you're trying to ask there? So you're looking for a question for this phase, right? Yeah. So you could ask, what were you?
Do you have a plan
because you're looking for people who've already done it. The pre-sale. They've been done this process before, right?
Yeah.
So
After you are.
So I'd say you would say when you do portfolio training. Sorry, my brain is not working. So I think the first thing you need to say is we're going to ask you some questions about your experience. So the first thing is like just the first intro.
Do you have an experience?
Pardon?
Do you have?
Yes. Yeah. Well, you've already looked for people who have experience,
Yeah.
but you're just going to write an introduction. It's not a question. It's just a. The following are some questions about your experience.
If you have, please answer following questions.
Yeah. Some questions about your experience of signing up for portfolio training. Yeah? So that lets them already start thinking about, that's right, we're talking about the sign-up process. Do you know what I mean by sign-up? That's sign-up. Purchase is a sign-up. So the first one would be about what triggered you to... How did you first... How did you find...
Find for me? Or...
No, you asked me, how did you...
Find
How did you look for? Portfolio training course. Is that what they're called? Yeah. How did you look for a portfolio training course? Was it online? Was it you asked friends?
Start.
Pardon?
Agent.
An agent? I went to an agent.
I think that's
Street promotion? I'm not sure.
So how did you first look for? Because what you're looking at here is like people are doing research, search engines. So you want to first know how did they do it?
Yeah.
And you want to know more about like what's their experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just like, how do you feel?
Yeah. What were the challenges? Or
So right now, I guess what I'm showing is this blank. This is the
You know what I'm trying to ask? I'm trying to ask a question about how would someone, what was their experience of doing that? Because you want to try and find someone, did they have a bad time? Was it hard to find information?
Yeah. Do you have some?
Or like what, you say, what information were you looking for? Yeah? How did you look for information? What information were you looking for? What information did you yeah.
Or to open?
Yeah, when looking for a portfolio training course.
I wonder, I think something's wrong. But maybe part of this was trying to get it. This is also like, not maybe like that.
How would you describe the experience? Yeah? So these are ideas for questions. You may remove some to keep the survey simple. So then we've got, how do people first connect? So what's that stage about? Is that about them reaching out, getting that, like touching in, that first touch point? You've got the website maybe as a touch point. Was the first touch point? First talking to a representative in some way. Yeah? What are the questions you could ask for connection?
But this part is not too long. It's short.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So what was the first time that you talked to somebody?
Yeah.
Like, what did you talk about? Or, how did you have the conversation? Was it successful?
It's just, you just need to hit it's not like that. It's not.
Maybe. Can you read my writing?
How did you have the conversation?
Do you want to fill out the rest yourself and then get my feedback? Yeah. Would that be better for you?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a bit control freak.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
Cool. Want to have a go? anyone not been allocated to a group yet and still needs to go?
Is that group 3? Oh, I suppose to be group 3.
It was supposed to be group 3, so you haven't done yet.
什么重大发现呢？没看。
不是之前给 No 发了一种东西。